With the festive season upon us, I wanted to find a movie that would both fit the theme of the festivities and give me an excuse to just wear this hat. I'm not gonna lie, I love it, it's so cozy. So in doing this, I started looking up Christmas themed horror movies, and fuck me, there's a lot of them. And the problem for me is a lot of them leaned into comedy, or they've been covered elsewhere as well. Now movies that are horror slash comedy I find harder to comment on because they're already making the jokes, so it doesn't leave you too much, you know? And as for the ones covered elsewhere, I didn't want to just do one that everyone's already done. So to try and narrow this down, I had a thought, what about Home Alone for adults, where people actually get injured? I mean, not that they weren't injured in Home Alone, but you know what I mean, like, fucking hurt. Again, I found a lot of movies like that, but I managed to find one. It promises a very similar plot. You know, a young lad has to defend himself, and it is at the Christmas time, kind of. It's a bit Christmassy. It's Christmassy enough for me to wear this hat, okay? That's all. But it does come with a 15 rating, so you know what? We can expect higher stakes, better traps, and ultimately, very hurt intruders. Or intruder. Intruder is one. There's one intruder in this one, but he gets hurt. So without further ado, grab yourself a drink, set some traps, defend yourself for the next 40 minutes or so, and let's see how Home Alone Knuckleball really is. We open up on some lovely snowy plains as far as the eye can see, and a lone driver seems to be making their journey for Christmas. That is until the radio comes on and gives us some bad festive news right from the start.
Winter storm to hit parts of the northwest. If the model holds true...
So looking at these plains, it's bad now, it is about to get a hell of a lot worse for them. Or better, if you love snowmen. Like, I would love it, I'm not gonna lie. I'd be off work. I wouldn't, I work from home. I build a snowman on my break. We just keep driving for a while more while they keep slapping us with credits. Like, this goes on for a while, they just keep on driving. We finally get into the car, and we see our star of the show, Henry, is a certified gamer. Now, his gaming skills aside, his parents clearly aren't getting on though. Well, they are not. They are not big fans of each other right now.
Did you mix the Ambien in the Xanax bottle? I'm gonna need something to sleep on the plane.
Mother Dearest is taking her sweeties, while Father is really doing his best to drive in the snow to somewhere he doesn't remember. Finally though, we arrive at a desolate looking house in the middle of nowhere, and just nobody is answering the door.
Not helpful.
Jesus, woman, he's trying to help you. I know you're angry, but fucking, it's Christmas, I think. They don't mention it, it's snowy. It's Home Alone. It's Home Alone for adults. Daddy-o here has some bonding time with Henry.
Try to enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
And he tells us that they're setting off because the mum's cousin has died, so they need to go and travel, be with family, do all that. And they're leaving Henry with Gramps.
What's Mom doing?
Yeah, Mum here's not coping well, like at all.
You remember how I told you my mom died of cancer when I was little? Maybe Henry's age, and then I went to boarding schools after that.
Mum just starts slapping us with a lot of backstory, and it is not fucking pretty.
Well, she didn't die of cancer, she killed herself.
Happy birthday, Jesus.
My dad had an affair.
Are you feeling kinda sad too? Yeah.
Eventually Gramps wanders into the movie and we can get away from Mum's depressing fucking stories. That being said, Gramps is a little bit serious though.
You had us worried for a minute. Thought you might have forgotten.
I don't forget things.
They trade over Henry like a shifty drug deal, and it is fucking awkward.
Call anytime.
Don't baby the boy. We'll be fine. Get over here.
Hey.
So we've got no signal, Gramps doesn't have a mobile, and they need to use the landline of a nearby neighbour, and that's basically it. I wonder if that's going to be relevant. Henry is not catching a break either. Like 2 minutes into holiday mode, and this man is shoveling shite.
Take it from here and put it in here.
It stinks.
It's manure. It's supposed to stink.
Merry Christmas, Henry. Henry pulls back a cover and we see a little Sparky here is gone.
What's this?
That's my dog. Love that dog.
Fucking hell, movie. You're just depressing so much at the start. First Mum, now this. Arguably the dog is worse, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a big dog fan. Big Gramps here is getting the generator going, but unfortunately, he misses a skill check. Better run there, Gramps, the killer's coming for you. Henry's practicing his throw, and I thought Gramps was going to be just your stereotypical grumpy-ass grandparent here. However, he decides to help the boy, teach him about throwing, paints up a target. It's very nice, with like very little happening.
I want that kick up here. As high as you can go. There you go. Now, with this hand. I want you to come right over the top with this. Look at me, look at me.
Maybe he is a big softy after all. A big old teddy bear Gramps. Just went, just give him a big cuddle. We get some sweet bonding while learning how to throw fast balls.
Right over the top and finish as that leg goes down, okay? All in one motion.
I think it's fastballs. I don't know. We don't really do baseball here, and I don't really do sports, so I don't fucking know. Be lucky I know it's baseball. That being said, though, I do need to point out a really cool detail I noticed. Well, I think I noticed. The back of Henry's jacket looks like one of those plates in baseball that they have to run to. There's like 4 of them. I think that's what they're called, plates. I don't know. It looks like one of them. It looks like it is on his jacket. I thought that was pretty cool if that was intentional. More festive chores continue here, and Henry is sent off to go get some wood.
Go over to the shed and get us some wood.
But uh-oh, maybe he should have stuck around. Big Gramps teddy bear boy is having a turn.
Time to call it a day.
Oh, thank God he's fine. He's good. He's good. Gramps is fine. Thank fuck for that. He needs to teach us more about fastballs and baseball and knuckleballs and how to hit with the bat. I don't know, he needs to teach us things. The boy is clearly confused by the concept of wood because he starts checking out gas canisters, and then we push in on this barbed wire, like a lot. Like we keep pushing in on it. And I know what you're thinking, for pushing in, is it sharp? There's your answer. It's sharp. It's barbed wire. It's barbed. It's gonna hurt. Why did that? It was so unnecessarily dramatic. Henry here just checks back in on Sparky, and then a stranger turns up with probably the worst opening line you can say to a child you don't know.
Want wood?
It's a bit creepy, isn't it? It's a bit weird. Hopefully Henry's asking Santa for a restraining order, you know? He needs something. Big Boots here is the neighbour with the landline. He offers Henry just a tour of the area.
I should give you a tour of the place.
Because he clearly needs it. Gramps hasn't shown him around yet. He doesn't know where the wood is. However, Big Gramps is having none of this new relationship forming.
Hey!
Big Boots here stops the way that my dog stops when you call them out for doing something wrong. When Sage is chewing something she shouldn't and we shout on her, she just stops. She doesn't look at us. She just stops the same way as fucking Big Boots.
I was just gonna show the kid around a little bit.
Wood piles over that way.
Gramps thankfully gives him a slap for getting shoes that are like 4 sizes too big and sends him on his way. So far, I like Gramps. He's good. He's a good egg. Henry here finally discovers what wood is, but instead of actually getting the wood, he decides to make a cat trap. Henry is a little distracted as an individual. Yeah, he can't keep a goal in mind. Cut to later on, and Gramps is getting dinner on.
Smells good.
Henry here wanders in like I do every time I smell dinner, and Gramps reacts the same way the missus does every time.
How much longer?
Sorry to the missus, but yeah, I'm 100% Henry here. I fully accept that.
How much longer?
Henry just cuts about the house for a while until he lands on the basement. He's looking into the abyss and then just shits himself from nothing. Like, I think Gramps just put the heating on and it was just starting up the boiler. That's all that happened. I watched it a couple of times. Nothing moved. Into the bathroom now, and he spots a vent that he wants to explore. How would you explore the vent? Would you go in it? Would you maybe throw something in it? Well, you throw your granddad toothbrush in it, of course. What was I thinking? Exploring the vent. Even more house wandering now, and he's in his mum's old room now. He just wanders about for a while. We get to learn a little bit of the layout of the house here, but fucking hell, Henry. Pick it up. Eventually, Gramps takes his exploration to a stop and checks in on him that dinner's ready.
What part of a locked door means welcome to you? Come on, get your butt downstairs. Dinner's about to be served.
Henry, of course, starts asking about the boy from earlier because he creeped him out and wanted to take him away, so thankfully he asks about it, and it's not one of those, like, unsaid things in a movie. Like, Henry's good at just calling shit out.
He's, almost like family. Not like you, though.
Bad with exploration and chores, but good at asking the right questions. I'm going to call it out right now. That is going to be his grandson or his son.
He's been around here since he was a kid. I helped him out. Now he helps me out.
Like, remember when the mum earlier in the movie was talking about how Granddad had an affair? It's relevant. It's got to be relevant. We're settling in for some baseball now, and Gramps is still teaching.
Show me the split finger.
It's got a vibe of somebody teaching you martial arts. Like, he keeps asking them to show him different styles.
Show me the split finger. Now the change-up. Now the curve.
Teaching time is over as we move on to the deep stuff, though.
Mom says you don't want to visit us.
Everybody's got a story, son. I guess that's hers.
Holy shit, Henry is getting some life lessons for dessert now.
You do your best to fix what you can. Then you die. Huh?
Keep it light, Gramps. It's Christmas time. Unofficially. I mean, no one said it. It's Christmas time. I'm bringing the cheer to this movie. It's Christmas time. As bedtime, though, starts rolling on around, Gramps just has one question for Henry.
Have you seen my toothbrush? Huh.
Henry, you lying little fuck. Tell him you threw it down the vent. I like Henry. I think he's good. He's also a bastard. Neighbours watching from outside, and then we cut over to our elite gamer just racking up a few more hours here. I quite like the display of him on the phone. I like seeing this in movies. It's done quite nicely here. However, his gaming is brought to a halt because Henry has only gone and forgot his bloody charger. He has like 2 things with him, headphones and his phone. He couldn't have remembered a charger. Our neighbour's just been sus though. Like, he has all this shit with him that's all tied together. Like, I don't know what it's supposed to be. And then he heads on into the shed. Cut over to next morning now, and Henry must be fucking freezing. How has he not died of like hypothermia during the night? And also, how does his phone have any battery left? He's wearing his headphones. That implies to me that he fell asleep maybe listening to music or with the game open. That shit's going to drain his battery fast, especially through an 8-hour stint. We just crack on making some gorgeous French toast and Henry almost burns the bloody house down. Oh, not quite. He double checked, he remembered. Good on you, Henry. But he needs to bring on the sweet talk because he needs Gramps to take him to the shops to get a new charger.
Grandpa! Grandpa! Grandpa?
Oh no, this is it, isn't it? This is the moment. This is it.
Wake up! Come on!
I fucking knew it. Grandpa Bear is down. I wanted him to teach me all about baseball. Like, I don't know anything about the sport. He's the man that would teach me. I would let him. I would let him cuddle me. He looks so cuddly. In a panic, he runs to call his dad, and I am loving these phone graphics that we're seeing right now. One tense call to his dad with the news, and time is ticking down. That beeping just adds some really nice tension here.
Grandpa's dead. I went to check on him this morning and he wasn't moving in the blackboard to do.
Henry heads on out and sees some other tracks in the snow and just pushes on though. He just forgets them for now. Need to go with your goals. Good on you, Henry. You've turned a new leaf. You actually do the thing you intend to do. Eventually he's in the woods and then some shit hits him or something. I don't know, he kind of stumbles, but he ends up at the neighbour's house with the landline. Now, how do you make somebody creepy very quickly in a movie? Well, you cut to them like this, of course.
Stop it. Get some help.
I know, right? He's definitely the one that killed Sparky. I mean, it's not confirmed. I'll be honest, it doesn't confirm it in the movie. He fucking did it though, didn't he? On over to the ever-loving parents now, who just cannot make out the voicemail because Signal is obviously fucked.
Please, help.
So what do? Well, they call the neighbour, you know, the landline, the only landline between 2 houses, but they just miss him. Chances of that, eh? Chances of that for timing and tension and plot progression, it works out beautifully. Daddy-O here calls the nearest town instead, because if you can't get your son, get the police involved, why not?
What's the closest town to your dad's place?
Percy.
And the mum, yeah, she just starts having all these flashbacks to her childhood. It's not pretty. We knew it was depressing. She's really struggling with this.
Mayor.
After some weird barn shots, it's clear that Daddy-O has saved the day.
They're gonna dispatch someone. They said the storm came in. Apparently there's another one on the way. But, they're gonna call us. Kind of. Big Grandpa Bear's still dead though. R.I.P. I still miss him. We're back on over to creepy neighbour now. Him and Henry are just looking over Gramps.
You shouldn't be seeing this. Go get your stuff.
The neighbour is a little bit more invested than you would have thought though. My money is still on grandson or son, like he's definitely related, I'm sure of it. We see the police officer that's on the case and they just throw in the fact that they don't like city people.
Yep, city people. Yep, they're the worst.
It's weird that they say that because I'll be honest with you, nothing comes from that. She's treating two people that have clearly fought each other and aren't pressing charges.
You guys good here?
She says she doesn't like city people. Neither of those aspects come into play whatsoever. The neighbour brings in Henry though, and he just has one idea.
I need to call my parents.
Sorry, dude. Storm.
It's a trap!
He just keeps getting weird, doesn't he? He's on a list for sure. I'm not sure what list he's on, but yeah, he's on a list somewhere.
I can't believe he's gone. We'll just have to have some fun. So we don't get all sad.
Yep, he's on it. He's on that list in bold. He drops some pills and it starts getting a little bit weird and tense.
It's getting bad out there.
I hope you have no ill intentions towards Henry now. Oh, you fucker, of course you do. Of course you try to drug the boy. They just keep on being weird back and forth, so I'm going to skip on just a little bit. Nothing plot progression-wise come from this until neighbour realises that it's dinner time.
Hey. Soup. Tomato or cream of mushroom?
Tomato?
Nice. Hoping you'd say tomato.
Tomato. Every time I'm with Henry on that. Henry spies the laptop over there and has one thing on his mind because of course he does.
You got any games on this computer?
No. That's just for work. So, don't mess with it, okay?
I feel you, Henry. I'm always on the lookout for playing a game. More weirdness continues and just keeps being weird.
Just some bookkeeping stuff around the farm. It's boring stuff for a little guy though, right?
And Henry starts getting sus now about the soda pop, non-branded cola.
Just, looking around.
Take a seat. Making me nervous.
You make me nervous too, dude, so it's even Stevens as far as I'm concerned.
Relax, dude.
Back on over to the healthy relationship of the movie, and they're trying to make their flight home, but unfortunately...
Flight's been delayed.
They're delayed for the holidays. It's definitely it's Christmas. I'm just going to keep shoehorning that in. It's a Christmas movie. The movie does just keep jumping over to the parents for like very brief moments, so I may just skip over a few of them. Just know, it cuts back for like a minute. We see them frustrated, mum's depressed, and dad's just frustrated trying to get home. That's kind of it. It's dinner time now for the lads, and Creep here just hits out with like the weirdest game you've never heard of.
You. Me. Drink race.
What the fuck even is that? Like, we know he's doing that so that Henry here drinks up his juice extra fast and gets drugged, even though he done the old switcheroo. But who the fuck has drink races, my man? Even normally, under normal circumstances, that's a weird game to play or even suggest, especially with that facial hair. The boys get gulping for gold and our Creep here takes the dub. I mean, I say dub. We know what's going to happen. We'll give him the dub for now.
You still gotta finish. Don't be a sore loser.
He tries to bond with him over some gaming chat, and I will be honest, it's not the worst gaming chat I've heard in a movie.
What kind of games you like?
Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty.
Unless the movie is specifically about gaming, it always feels a bit stilted. You know, like the writers don't quite understand what a video game is.
Oh man, I'd smoke you in Call of Duty.
I'm awesome at Call of Duty.
Doesn't fucking matter, man. I'm like a god at that game.
It's all right here. It does the job. They just touch on it, they move on. Henry, though, is now just calling out Creep's shit.
Your computer was just for work.
I didn't say I played it here, did I? You're a little smart guy, huh?
Henry is goated as far as kids in movies go so far. Other than throwing the toothbrush down the vent, that was still a dick move. Creep has a meltdown now, and he does not stop with it.
Smart ass. Old man would have never stood for that kind of talk from me. But he's not here right now.
Like, for real, he just keeps on unloading shit more and more.
He's always saying one thing and meaning something else. But I read between the lines, Hank.
What was in those pills? Like talkie pills. He doesn't fucking stop. It just keeps going.
You're a lot like him, you know? Doing one thing, meaning another, pretending.
They eventually kick in though, and Creep realises, yeah, he done goofed with this game. Trying to trick our gamer here like that, it's not going to happen. The boy's a pro. The phone just pops off and cuts through the tension, and now everything is coming together for young Henry. Oh, shit. Like, he was already sus. Things are really starting to make sense for him. Henry goes for the phone, but no luck. Creep bonks it, so Henry just dips instead. After a long time on the ground, Creep does some yoga here and gets on up. That's an intermediate class at very least. The game is now on. Henry goes straight for the supplies and knows that he needs to set up, while Creep is bringing up the fizzy pop from earlier to get rid of those drugs. Does that now mean that Henry won the drink race by disqualification? Like, we're giving him the dub now? I'll give him the gold. Well done, Henry. Well done. Creep is on his way and fumbling around, and he's hallucinating Gramps, who is still dishing out life advice.
He'll be waiting for you at the house.
Ghost Gramps isn't wrong here, as we cut over to Henry, and holy fuck, he is on another level. Creep is getting himself psyched up here, and it seems like Gramps is telling him that he used to let him kill people.
You have to make this one special. It's Mary's boy.
It is a little unclear, but it's weird. It's weird the way they word this. It's like Gramps let him kill people, and it's not ever really explained. And while this is going on, Henry, yeah, he's making fucking Molotovs by the looks of it. He's fucking on one. It is showtime. Creep is here, and fucking hell. He was big boots earlier on in the movie, but look at him now. He looks like that mini butcher from the Boys meme. That's all I can see when I look at him now. He's on the hunt, but sadly no luck for Creep.
That would be tricky.
We see the police officers on their way, but then just rolls up to a stopped car for really no other reason than to delay the police getting to the house to let this happen. It feels like such an arbitrary way to have the police get there just a little bit later on.
If you can hear me, looks like Velma went into the ditch again.
Creep though has Sparky now. What is he planning exactly with Sparky?
I got you something.
What a prick. That's all I got to say there. He keeps on wandering around the house on the hunt for Henry, while Henry is just staying still, cautious, listening out for anything. Eventually though, he throws a distraction, that fucking brush from earlier, because that was necessary for some reason. It's not like there are other things in the basement. In either case, he throws it, he goes for the vent, but uh-oh.
Henry?
Creep starts making his way down to the basement, knowing that's exactly where Henry is. He skips the first trap, but with a false sense of confidence, yeah, he fucking falls on the next one. Holy shit, Henry really isn't fucking around here. Macaulay Culkin, you can learn a few things. Henry does the old flank here, takes the high ground, and with a mason jar in hand, what is he planning now exactly? Holy shit, he's just nailing headshot after headshot. But like, that's as bad as it gets, right? Oh, never mind. Henry is not fucking around whatsoever, is he? He draws a fucking kitchen knife and continues on down. Like, this boy is strapped and armed. Checking in to see if Creep is dead or passed out, and like any movie would tell you, of course he fucking isn't. However, don't let that stop Henry here because he goes for the fucking kill shot. This kid is a psychopath. I love it. I love every moment of it. I want him to win. He manages to dip, get into a kind of crawl space here and get another slice off. And then dips again, like he is all about escaping right now. Not satisfied with one cut though, he sits and waiting for another chance to strike. Henry, like, you're goated. You need therapy. Now he truly dips, and whilst Creep falls on the ladder, Henry hurdles it and gets on up the stairs and out. More hallucinations come in though to stop Creep this time. Like, Gramps just keeps popping up. Probably won't show every instance of them.
The boy is smart. Real smart.
But he pops up to give Creep some advice, but because it's a hallucination, you know that it's Creep's own head talking to him. You know, it's not actually a ghost.
Smart like me.
Anyway, with the hallucination, he comes to the epiphany Henry is still in the house because tracks aren't moving away from the house in the snow.
No footprints.
Say it a little less creepy though next time, man. Like, if there is a next time, just try and get off the list. He starts heading for the pantry, because Gramps never shut the pantry door because it had like a jammed lock or something, so he knows he's in there.
Never shut the pantry door. Door's stuck.
And we get this very clear reminiscent of the Shining shot. We get a Shining shot here. But it's all in vain. Creep bursts down the door and Henry is nowhere to be seen.
Looks like he went out into the cold.
Creep concedes that he's lost the battle but not the war until...
Hi, Henry.
Fucking hell, Henry. Like, did you think that was coming, that he was just going to get another slash off? The boy's a lunatic. With Creep literally pinned to the door, Henry successfully hits a few wiggle checks and he is out of there fast. Instead of pulling the knife out though, Creep of course just pulls his hand out. I don't like it. Shit in there, like in those little bits of your hand, like paper cuts, nah, not a fan. I have a lot of salt here, it stings quite often. In either case, paper cut and salty hands aside, Creep heads on and Henry just starts pelting him with baseballs. Good catch though, Creep, well done. That was good. It must have hurt like a motherfucker. Good on you. Henry throws a few more which do, let's be honest now, fuck all.
Unpredictable kid!
Now I get the movie's called Knuckleball, and googling it, Knuckleball seems like an erratic way to throw the ball and he's acting erratic. I get the reference, right? This feels like the most shoehorned in way of making it baseball related. Because see, after this, it doesn't come back to baseball. You've had Gramps teaching him about baseball, helping him throw a baseball, and now he's thrown a few at Creep. You'd think that baseballs would be the thing that stops Creep in the end, because then it comes full circle, but no. He just launches a few from the top of the stairs. Now after he just throws the bag, eventually realising the balls are doing fuck all, he dips into one of the rooms, and I don't quite know what happens here. We see Henry run into one of the rooms and start trying to lock the door. Creep is on his way up. Now, we don't see Henry move to any other doors, and he's playing with that lock still, and then he just opens the door to Creep. It's weird. I know some of these rooms have been shown to have joining rooms. It doesn't look like he moves to another door, because even this outside lock is in the same place. So it's like he just went in the room, and then opened the door again for Creep just to come right back to him. And I don't know, it was weird. Was that an editing thing, or did they not think that through? Back on over to our loving parents now, and Mummy-O is still struggling.
I was the one who found my mom in the barn. She was safe.
And I mean, really struggling with it all. Like, she's fun, this movie.
Oh, you can be totally safe and happy, and then...
We are back on over to the boys now, and Creep seems a little less bloodthirsty now.
Hi, Dad.
I fucking called it. Uncle Creep now goes for Henry under the bed, and thankfully he doesn't have another fucking knife on him. Back on over to the parents just briefly, and we see that Munro has cheered up.
Mom didn't leave a note. Nothing.
Oh, for fuck's sake, women, where is your Christmas cheer? Wear a hat. It's very comfortable. Uncle here is still beating the living daylights out of his nephew because, you know, family at the holidays.
I always win.
Well, that is true. You did win the drinking game until you were sick, and then the dub went to Henry, I'm sorry to say. We keep on cutting back and forth to Mum and then the fight, and all Mum is doing is telling us about how Gramps cheated, but we now know that. Like, we knew it earlier, we've got the reveal, we don't need more of it. So with that, let's just get back on to the lads.
Now, we can play a different game.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I don't know who to turn to. It's getting creepy here, it's depressing there. It's a rock and a hard place. Not a hard place, no. He's getting his own back now, you know, for the barbed wire, the Molotovs, the fire, the multiple lacerations. He's got a lot to make it even with Henry. The police lady comes on up, and honestly, thank God someone just cuts through this moment for us. She's rocking on up to the house, and Creep just cannot handle this shit. He yeets Henry at the wall and heads down to greet her.
No! No!
He should have thrown him a little bit harder though, because Henry gets back up on his feet, but he is struggling to get her attention. It's one of those movies where all the windows are silent.
Help! Hey Janie, listen, Drew's still on duty?
Yeah, he's dealing with public intoxication.
Police lady's instincts though are right. She's sus something's wrong, so she heads back to her car to let the HQ know. That's good. I like that detail. You don't get that often. French Toast comes to the rescue, but sadly, not for long.
Kid, you okay?
Creep just keeps on hitting her now until we get that final hit. And then another final hit, and then another final hit. There's a few final hits here, it's safe to say. Police lady didn't make it. Police lady aside, she was brief in the movie. That's what you get for hating city folk. But now Creep is armed. Henry, though left with very few choices, decides now to dip out the window onto like the lower roof level. And Creep is on the hunt more than ever. He spies those pesky footsteps and heads off to the barn. Henry fumbles because, of course, there's about 50 keys to thumb through. Why does Gramps have so many keys for what is, I imagine, like 4 locks around his house? He gets in eventually, some pigeons are there to greet him, and this is Home Alone. I told you, there's pigeons. It's Snowy, an intruder. It's the new Home Alone movie, I think we can agree. Onward down to the new basement of the barn, and Creep is somehow not with them just yet. He seems not so interested in finding Henry anymore. It's weird. Where's your enthusiasm? Henry finds a bunch of tapes down here and a gun on the wall, but Henry is not alone.
Hey, boy!
What the fuck is going on, movie? I don't know. This whispery woman here is teaching Henry how to use a gun because he has no idea. It's like the one thing Henry doesn't know.
Know how to use that thing?
And Creep is closing on in.
You get out of there, boy! Right fucking now!
Now, is it just me, or does this woman sound like every English audio dub of just anime that you get?
Know how to use that thing?
I don't know what it is. It's like the kind of tone to her voice more than anything just seems very dubbed.
Shells are on the shelf.
She helps him with loading it before fucking Uno reversing on Henry. The fuck, lady? Like, Henry's a good egg. Kind of. He's a bit of a dick, but he's got a good heart. The Creep eventually catches up because fucking thank God you do. And makes it very clear that Henry was going to end up here regardless. Like, this is his kill room, it seems.
You were always gonna end up down here.
However, being a creep with a heart, he gives Henry one last choice.
Bat? Or gun?
Say what you will, he's at least considerate. Big choices for Henry aside, our whisperer in the back cocks the gun and is now aiming it right at Creep. What the fuck, dude? That's not how you treat your mum. You get her a nice scented candle or something. It's Christmas time after all. They have a standoff and it ends pretty much like you would expect.
Now.
Yep, one goes for the shot, the other goes for the shot. So they are now both down and Henry is just watching all of it. He takes the bat and he is going to swing for that double tap, but he manages to stop himself. He's not like his uncle. The backup has finally arrived as discount Captain America comes in to save the day.
Is there anyone else in the house?
All the cavalry has now arrived to secure down the scene, and the parents have finally shown up just in the nick of time. I would also argue a few hours earlier would have been fucking great as well. They just get to run through what is essentially a live crime scene at the moment. But, you know, on you go, guys.
Henry!
Henry!
They reunite and take Henry away, but not before one final look back and shot of Ghost Gramps just disappearing. And that is credits. Now, I know it wasn't a Christmas movie, right? But looking for adult Home Alone, I think this is kind of the closest I've ever seen to it. Henry was a fucking badass. I think we can all agree on that. It's less traps than I would have expected and more just him hiding with a knife quite a lot of the movie. Like, imagine hide and seek with just knives and it's Henry. Like that. You just need to tag them and run. But all in all, it was a fair time. It was snowy. It looked like Christmas. A few more lights in a Christmas tree wouldn't have looked out of place. But with that movie now behind us, what did you think of it? Who would win, him or Macaulay Culkin? I mean, Macaulay Culkin was more creative, but Henry, he's willing to go the extra mile, so it's a fair question, actually. You know, Henry didn't put enough traps down, he just hid about, whereas Macaulay, he's going to psychologically fuck with you. That cardboard cutout shadow thing was still top tier in my opinion. Now, if you've enjoyed what I've done here, please do consider hitting like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. And before I head on, I do just want to say special thank you to those that have become channel members here to just really go that extra mile and support what I do. So here is their names now on screen. It's not something I promote, you know, I'm not going to twist your arm or guilt you into it. And if you want to help me move towards this as like a full-time career, the option's there. I appreciate everyone who takes the chance, but if not, you're still welcome. And now with that video behind us and everything wrapped on up, thank you so much for watching and have a good holiday.